Hello, beautiful soul. This is Mimi and Dear Divine Feminine. Welcome. Today, we're talking about your loop, your drug, your poison. What do I mean by that? Every twin has a different way that the toxic, addictive energy will manifest itself in the 3D. Let's get more clear. I don't want to do blah, blah, blah on this, but I want you to really get this. There are some twins that will be really obsessed with getting that validation from the outside. Is obsessed with having someone that will soothe them, that will tell them it's okay, that will tell them they're on the journey. So they will give the power to someone on the outside, and they will look for that validation. So that's, let's call it poison one, drug one. And another type is actually really, really obsessing over what happened, looking for answers in the story, like going back, analyzing, retelling, revisiting every detail of whatever happened in the 3D. Like, they told me this, they sent me a text, their last text was on this and this date, and this happened. What did they really mean? What actually happened? And you see how it's obsessing on the 3D story, again putting the power on something else, on the external. And what else? Another one obviously is, just stalking your twin, is still pushing your twin away by chasing them physically. Yeah, it's like everything you do that has that chasing energy as a motivation that will keep you in that pushing, chasing state. So what could it be? You could really be like early on in the journey, and you could be actually calling them, trying to contact them, trying to still trying to keep it alive, not to let them go, not to let this go. And if you're a bit further down the line, it's been a while that you heard about twin flames, and now it's kind of resonating, and you kind of now know that you shouldn't be pushing. But it doesn't work like that. It's not that simple. Even when you know you shouldn't be pushing, you'll probably be pushing in some way. But it's going to get trickier as you move along the journey. Why? Because what's obvious in the beginning, like calling them, trying to see them, stalking them, whatever, texting them, trying to get close with their family, friends to get the news, or like driving by their work you know the drill. And then as they start pulling away, then it's going to be maybe stalking now, stalking. If you're not talking, you're going to see whatever they posted on social media, or like, just stalking them, like wherever you can get some information on them. And as you move further along the journey, that's going to get more subtle. What do I mean by that? Now you're not checking them on social media. Now you're not trying to talk to their friends. Now you're not trying to run into them. You're not calling them. You leave them alone. You're making peace with the idea that, okay, this is not gonna be all set in a matter of weeks. This is a journey. But then it gets sneakier. Maybe you're still not. Maybe you're still waiting for them in mad ways. Do you get me? Like, I want to give you a nice example so it hits hard. So you get that moment of like, oh my God, I do this. Oh shit. Like, I want you to get that inner standing going like, oh, it gets sneakier. How does it get sneakier? Like, let's say you always wanted to go somewhere, but you wanted to, when you met your twin, you wanted to go there with them, or there's something that you wanted to do. You want to do it with your twin. Like, you're not moving because you think when your twin comes back, that's going to be much better if you decided together. Or you're not doing a project because you're waiting for them to join you and join forces and blah, blah, blah. Or Maybe you're not opening your heart up. Maybe you're still not making eye contact with another, person that you're not letting yourself open up to the world and other possibilities because you're thinking it's going to get complicated if your twin came back. See how it gets a bit subtle. Like, you're not obsessing over them like every day. You're not trying to stalk them, but there's still things that revolve around the fact that there's a twin. See, still it's the idea of there's a person that is completing you, and they'll probably come back when you do the work and all of that. But still, do you see how it still keeps you in that loop? This journey is about taking that step as blindfolded, taking that leap of faith when you're blindfolded, and really going like, okay, you know what? There's no twin. There's no nothing. There's no one outside of me. This is about me. When you can take that courageous step and when you can take that leap of faith, that's when the shift happens. That's when real shit happens. Because when you're still playing on that ground of like, oh, I have a twin, now we cannot be magnetized in because this, because that, but it's the biggest love story of my life, so I have to do the work so they can come back in. And if you're still playing in that ground, it's not going to get easy for you, because it's going to get I don't want to say longer, but the journey is going to get longer. The part where you're like in separation gets longer, but the truth is, when you're in separation with your twin, you're actually in separation with yourself. So there's a point on this journey where you realize, where you just wake up to the truth, and it comes from the inside. It's not something that you're going to be preached and you're going to understand at a mind level. It's going to be an internal shift where you go, this is about me. Maybe the twin is maybe the divine counterpart, and union is like beautiful cherry on top. Like it's beautiful, it's nice. It's not to devalue it. Whatever I'm saying is not to devalue that, but you'll get to a point where you understand that the real shit here. You're the real shit. You're the shit. Because it's your journey. Because it's you. Because it's you. Then it's beyond worlds. When you start feeling that inside, when you really start to focus on yourself, but not like, okay, you know what? Now I'm focusing on my career. Now I'm doing self-care. I'm doing my nails done. I'm buying some clothes, but then later on I'm just, crying in the bathtub because like nobody feels like my twin. Yeah, that will happen. That's a very natural part of the journey. They're made of same fabric as you, for Christ's sake. They're your fucking divine counterpart. Of course you're gonna miss them. Of course, for a long time it will be hard to not to think of them as this yummy like boyfriend, girlfriend, lover, whatever. So it's gonna be hard to step out of that. But once you step out of that, once you stop considering them as this other person that came in as a relationship into your life, but really, really, really bring all the focus back into you. Oh, I'm gonna say so. Oh, okay, wait. It's not about finding them outside, but it's about finding them inside, but not in that human form. But because they're you on a soul level, once you find yourself within, once you find your inner masculine, inner feminine, and they make beautiful love together and there's union inside you, then guess what? Then the outer union can take place. But you see the trade-off here? Like, you first gotta really forget about them. Like, really letting go. I think that's one of the most complicated concepts on the journey, letting go. What does it mean? You're gonna realize you spend a really long time at the beginning trying to understand the letting go, because you're gonna be looking for answers. You're gonna be like, what's letting go? Shall I forget about them? But how can I? Shall I let them go, never call them? But what is detox? Like, what do you mean by letting go? Because the mind is gonna be so overwhelmed. Like, what do you mean let go? Like, how can I let go? Like, shut the fuck up. This cannot be real. But it's actually, once you're past that point, you're not going to be obsessing over like concepts like that. What is letting go? You don't care because you find union within, because you're in union with yourself. And then obviously, I shouldn't be feeding that part of you now, but obviously outer union comes after inner union. So you first have to reach inner union for outer union to happen. But in no case you're allowed to think that it is the ultimate goal of this journey, having union with your physical union with your other self. Because it's so funny. It is so funny because whenever I try to put it in words, to go through the filters of the mind, actually I find it more difficult. But what's really magical is that because you're on the journey, you don't even need to understand the words. I don't even have to put them in words, because this is happening for you now. You are on the journey. Your soul is in the front seat, like driving, and your mind is trying to understand what's going on. But you're already in it, so you don't have to really understand anything. Once you tap in to that beautiful space, that soul space, that heart space, inside and out, that is infinite, but that is also it's called like a drop in the ocean and an ocean in the drop. Once you're really there, then the whole thing shifts. The whole thing shifts. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to really grasp it. You don't have to have a roadmap. You don't have to have terminology for that, nothing. But even the vibration of my voice is going to hit something inside. And because you're already on this journey, because you're already awakening, you have all the knowledge, all the wisdom inside. It's about waking up to that. So even you, like tapping into that space is going to wake up those parts that actually know the drill. So it's about unbecoming what your mind thinks you are, and it's about unblocking to get to that space, and you're already on the journey, baby. Like, you can't go back, you can't undo this, you can't. Sometimes it will feel like a roller coaster, but at the end it's a magical gift. You are awakening. Like, you're awakening to this life, to the beauty of your soul and the universe, and you're getting, it is so beyond words. Like, you're given the secrets of the universe. You'll feel it inside, like how you view the world is going to change, how you look at the moon is going to change, how you see the stars, how you even look at a leaf, just a leaf. It's going to be very, very, very different because you're awakening. And it's not easy. So if you need help, if you need to further work with me to really define what your loop is, what your drug is, what your how it works in your journey, how it manifests in your journey, I can work with you one-on-one on my coaching sessions. But I suggest you first take the course, the Twin Flame course, the Twin Flames Guide to the Galaxy. There's like a lot that I put my finger on that can help you, support you, that will really make you understand, that will also give you tools, practical tools, like everyday stuff, and also meditations and all of that. And also my detox program. That is a 30-day detox program that will really, really, really shift you in a, like, beyond your wildest dreams way, because it will get you, it will purify. It will help you purify. Purify what? We're not getting rid of the twin. We're not saying that, cutting off the person just for the sake of, like, cutting off the person, like, ending it, blah, blah, blah. Not that. But it's about purifying. It's about detoxing from that crazy energy that is now living 24/7 with the obsession of your twin. You will even be surprised. Like, you'll be saying, how can you think about a person 24/7 and for like months and years and decades? Like, how is it possible? How is it humanely possible to be always living with another person's presence, thoughts of them, dreaming of them, wanting them, needing them, hating them, whatever? It's beyond what your mind can fathom. So not to stay in that separation for like decades and years and whatever, which is also actually separation from the self, you need to get really serious. Do your detox, focus on yourself, but really focus on yourself. It's not about just, doing a crazy like routine where you're trying to achieve things, where you're trying to achieve healing. No, it's about really simplifying your relationship with yourself. It's about being your freaking best friend. It's about giving yourself the deepest love. It's not like, getting your nails done and like going to a yoga class and going like self-love. Not that they're bad. Like, do all of it. Do whatever you want to do. But when I talk about self-love, it is so deep and it's just so raw that whatever happens, whatever aspect of yourself wants to be heard, you're there and you hold space for it and you have fucking compassion and love for yourself. So yes, go to my website if you want to work with me on these, www.deardf.com, and see you in another video or in a coaching session or in my programs. I'm sending you so much love. Enjoy this beautiful journey. I know it's super hard. I know it's super freaking hard, but this is amazing. Like, you're gonna look back, you're not gonna recognize yourself. You're gonna be like, whoa. When you're living your best life, you're gonna look back and you're gonna say, wow, I was blessed with this journey. Sending you much love. You got this.